Amida Butsu. No, it's been a little while since I made a video. Sometimes your mind gets clogged with a lot of garbage from what's going on around you. And one of the things I found that really helps me is just sitting in front of an image of Amida and playing a nimbutsu song, either on YouTube. Usually it's from YouTube. It can be from any other social media site you're on. Most of them have, Amitabha Buddha chants. And that's kind of what I did this morning. I woke up a few times during the night. You can see the circles in my eyes, nights, obviously. But sometimes you'd like to do Dharma study, you'd like to do intense, focused nimbutsu, but for whatever reason, your brain is scattered, your thoughts are distracted. Basically, you just can't settle down enough to focus to your own satisfaction. Of course, Amida is satisfied with us connecting with him as long as it is sincerely seeking to connect with him. But living in this saha realm, this strange dream state, sometimes I just have to not try to fix myself and just simply be as I am in the presence of Amida. And I did that this morning. I went on one of Sensei Josho Adrian Serlia's sites, and he hadn't posted anything yet. I read all of his previous posts. I thought of doing my Dharma study like I usually do in the morning when I'm a little more focused. And I'm off today, so I've got things I want to do later on. But I had all these thoughts swimming around in my head. And I'm playing around on YouTube, looking at different videos, and I came across this remake of a Namo Amida Butsu chant on Call of Compassion, their YouTube channel. And I just started playing it, and I remembered what Josho said. Sometimes it helps if you just sit in front of an image of Amida and just listen to the Nembutsu. And so I went into my photo files and I pulled up a beautiful image of Amida. He was all golden and in a cloud above a bright red sunset. I thought, wow, that's a very relaxing, healing image. And today I'm not feeling that well. I'm having a certain amount, not a large amount, but a certain amount of physical discomfort. And so I just sat in front of that image and let the video on YouTube play. And just sat there. Didn't try to think, didn't try to have the proper attitude, didn't try to have the proper words to go along with the video. I didn't even recite with the video. But it was a very smooth, gentle, flowing saying of the words Namo Amida Butsu. And I've heard it 1,000 times before. But it's a beautiful day here in Houston. I'm looking out at this beautiful weather, this beautiful fall weather we're having. And even though I'm in a slight bit of physical pain, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I'm kind of to that point now where I'm slowly embracing the idea that this is a dream we're living in. And, you know, the Jodo Shinshu masters confirm this. This is not the reality we're seeking. I actually know coworkers and friends who are so upset by the political upheaval going on in America that they feel overwhelmed and distracted. And I talked in a previous video about that having happened to me. I literally had to go on a diet, so to speak, from social media news outlets because it's a crap game, you know, and politics and social trends are a bad religion to adhere to. They only end in frustration, confusion, and eventually madness. I actually, and this is no lie, I actually had a downstairs neighbor in my apartment complex. He was so upset by what was going on in the American political arena that he had to be hospitalized. Of course, the man has psychological disorders, but it just goes to show there's no solution really to be found to this. Um, I focus on the simple things in life, and I've said many times before, one of the keys to my having a happier, more fulfilling life is I keep it simple. I keep my mind focused more and more whenever I can on Amitabha Buddha and his name. And even if I'm not saying his name, I'm thinking his name. And now it's almost constant. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I am, I have a Nembutsu on me. I mean, not like this, of course, but a little larger than this. But I mean, I've always got a set of prayer beads that I can cling to. Because for me, it symbolizes clinging to the sleeves of Amida. Whenever I say Nembutsu, I'm basically giving it to Amida. I'm basically handing it over to Amida and saying, okay, you know how I am. You know who I am, Amida, and you know what I'm going through. And don't get me wrong, and I know you can get the impression watching these videos that I'm always going through crap, and I'm not. You know, like today I'm having allergy and sinus problems. That's my big health issue today, and it just makes me feel off, and I don't like feeling off. And it's been an exhausting week at work. Not a bad week. It's been a good week, very productive week. Nothing really negative, but you know, I'm getting older, and you know, you feel you feel it. You know, you feel it, and I don't have all the excess energy that I did when I was a kid. You know, as a kid, that's why I guess I found some self-practice forms of Buddhism. And by kid, I mean my 40s and shit stuff. You know, I'm old. I mean, as a kid, you kind of have all this excess energy where you like to try new rituals and new stuff. And that's why I like Nembutsu. I love Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. It connects me directly with Amida. I don't have to go through a bunch of prostrations. I don't have to go through a bunch of formula and rituals and whatnot. There are times I feel like doing that. There are times, many times, I will fall on my face before that shrine right there, that altar, and I will worship Amida. And I enjoy it and I love it. And I do it only because I want to. You know, there's no requirement to do that. The only requirement I have is to entrust myself to Amida and to say his name and to wish to be born in his pure land. That's the only real requirement I have. And sometimes when I'm feeling tired, when I'm feeling worn out, when I'm just not feeling it, I take Joshua Adrian's advice and I will sit in front of an image of Amida, either, you know, that one right there, this one right here, or like today, I will pull up an image on my computer because I love images of Amida. I've collected a few online and I have them on file, and just let a YouTube Nembutsu chant or Amitabha Buddha chant just play. Nothing more, nothing less. Just sit there and let it play. And it's irrelevant to what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling, whether it's positive or negative. Amida knows that I am there in his presence, and that's why I'm doing this. I don't need to prove anything like I did when I was in other belief systems, religions. I don't need to follow some kind of formula like, you know, I remember I used to be in a New Age adherent, like so many, to this thing called The Secret. And it was big for a while. It was one of those New Age things. And it's still big, I guess, with certain people. But someone put out a book called The Secret, and it was about basically changing your thoughts through positive thinking. And it was like, you know, what you think you will bring to you. And it's you know, I'm glad I got out of the whole New Age thing, and I'm not knocking anyone. If you're into that New Age thing, more power to you. Do you, because eventually, I have no doubt Amida will draw you to him. But like I've said in previous videos, and like the Jodo Shinshu masters, Rinyo and Shonin, have said many times, basically paraphrasing here, you can't fix yourself. And that's a wonderful thing about growing old, is that I can't fix myself. And I know this sounds weird, guys, and maybe a bit macabre to some of you, but I'm actually looking forward to going to the Pure Land. I'm actually looking forward to this life just ending, because I have no doubt that I'll be in the Pure Land. You know, to those who wrestle with doubts about whether or not you will go to the Pure Land, my advice is don't wrestle with it. Sit in the presence of Amida and just listen to his name. You don't need to wrestle with it. It's see, that's another example of when I first started on this path, I felt like I had to fix myself in order to be worthy to receive Amida's gift of Shinjin. And it is Amida's gift. It doesn't come from me, as I've said before. And as I grow older and I learn that I don't need to make effort because I do practice other power Buddhism, some of the most precious, fulfilling times are when I just sit in his presence. It may sound like I'm going in circles, talking in circles, but I can't emphasize enough the importance of just allowing Amida to be the Lord of your life. And just allowing Amida to be the Lord of your life has nothing to do with your worthiness. It has nothing to do with your spiritual talents. It has nothing to do with your humility. It has everything to do with accepting the fact that you are a bamboo, a spiritual idiot, and just giving yourself to him wherever you are. And by giving myself to him, it means not trying to fix myself. I find that my relationship with Amida is changing me through time. I find that this love relationship I have with Amida is slowly transforming the way I think. Which, there's no guarantee there that that's going to happen with anyone, but I'm finding that just knowing that he is there 24/7, 7 days a week, is enough for me. That's what I wanted in religion all my life. That's what I wanted in faith. I wanted to know that someone loved and accepted me for who I was, as I was, where I was in my life. I have that now. And I no longer, less and less, I need affirmation from others to validate me like I used to. And maybe that's because I feel so totally and fully validated and accepted and loved by Amida. I have no doubt that when I leave this life, I will go to the Pure Land, because I have no doubt that Amida is with me every moment of every day. Do I always feel his presence? I don't know. At this point, I have to say personally, subconsciously, yes. Am I always focused on Amida throughout the course of the day? No. Like I've said before, sometimes I get pissed off, sometimes I get frustrated, but it doesn't seem to last as long as it used to. I was talking with a friend of mine last night about, you remember when you first met me like over 10 years ago, and what I'm like now? And he said, yeah, it's like a light years difference from that person I first met to this person. I said, I find more and more, even though things do piss me off, even though stuff does make me frustrated and angry, it doesn't stick. It's more like Teflon. It kind of slides off of me more. You see, this is what I always wanted in religion. This is what I always wanted in my lifestyle is to be able to just be. Just be content. And I remember when I was trying to be a good Christian and trying to be a good New Ager, it was all about do. You know, you need to do this, you need to think this, you need to say this, you need to believe this. You need to make it happen. You need to make it happen. You need to connect with God. You need to connect with Christ. You need to think positive thoughts and train yourself to bring forth from the universe all these positive things. Well, sometimes you feel like it works and sometimes you feel like it doesn't when you're into that stuff. But it's never consistent, and sometimes, most of the time, because this is the Saha realm, you know, trying to practice the secret of bringing forth joy and wealth and fulfillment from the universe falls flat on its head, because this is the Saha realm. This is the realm where you're flying high and it only takes one speck of dust to crash your plane, so to speak. I guess after 60 years of basically going through that, I've learned to settle into this wonderful, comfortable relationship I have with the living Buddha Amida. It's, guys, there's no lie when they say he is the Buddha of infinite light and life. He fulfills any and every spiritual need I could ever have, to overflowing, beyond any expectations I could ever have for a deity. Um, I just really, I'm so glad that my karma was ripe enough for me to be open to receiving Amida in my life. I honestly do believe I would have committed suicide had I not gone this path. I would have given up in despair. I have no doubt of this. And I know there are viewers that tell me they're frustrated because they don't have that right now. They've been saying Nembutsu. They really want to receive Shinjin. And they're frustrated because they don't have Shinjin. Well, here's something, and I'm just going to throw out some advice personally that's helped me to those who are frustrated because they haven't received Shinjin. Don't try to fix any of that. Just come to Amida as you are and say, well, you know where I'm at. You, better than anyone else, know what I'm going through. You know my doubts. You know my quirks. You know who I am. you know what you're doing. Namo Amida Butsu. And just say Namo Amida Butsu. And then just sit in the presence of Amida Buddha, preferably before some kind of image of Amida Buddha. But if you're in a place like a park or somewhere, or you're just in your kitchen and you just want to connect with Amida, but you're frustrated because you don't know how, just sit in a chair. And if you're not at a place where you can say Nembutsu, just sit in a chair. And just basically say to Amida, here I am. Here's where I'm at in life. I don't need to give you any kind of laundry list, Amida, because you know, as a living Buddha, far beyond what I'm going through, the karmic causes of what I'm going through, the things I've done and said in past lives, and there's nothing I can do to fix that. You see, life is brutal. Life is hard. And the healing power of Amitabha Buddha and his name is something that the majority of people living among us in the saha realm can't wrap their heads around. They can't grasp this because it's too weird to them. You know, it's not exciting. I want bells ringing. I want, you know, I want prostrations, and I want, you know, formulas and incantations. And it's like, I've been everything. I've been a Wiccan. I've been a black magic practitioner. I've been a Southern Baptist. I've been a Pentecostal. I've been a Roman Catholic. I've been a Roman Catholic charismatic, tongue-speaking Catholic. I've been, you name it. I've been it. I've been an atheist. I even thought about becoming a communist at one time. I've been a member of the Church of Satan. I sent in my $100. I've been a member of the 700 Club. I sent in my donations to Pat Robertson. I was a follower of The Secret. The New Age, call forth your power and wealth. And it's like, where did it get me? Seriously, where did it get me? It got me frustration. I was a liberal left-winger politically. I was a virulent right-winger politically. Where did it get me? Politics changes like water, man. It changes like the direction of the wind. I mean, it's not solid. Nothing in the saha realm is solid. This is a dream. This is a bardo, so to speak. This is a bardo is a transitional realm between, mainly when you talk of the bardo, you're talking about the transition between the state of death to the state of rebirth, or the state of life to the state of death. you hear about spirits and ghosts, and a lot of these spirits and ghosts are beings, consciousness trapped in a bardo realm. And in a recent post, Josho Adrian Serlia talked about this saha realm basically being a form of bardo, because it is constantly a place of constant transition, a place of constant life and death. There's nothing permanent in this realm. There's constant flux, there's constant change. I need something constant in my life. I need something that is stable, that is rock solid. That's not to be found within myself. It's to be found in Amitabha Buddha and his name. I would say to those who have been struggling with their faith in Amida Buddha, stop struggling. Start talking heart to heart with Amida Buddha about what you're going through. He's your greatest friend. He's someone that will always be there for you. He is stable. He is solid. In this dreamscape of saha, Amitabha Buddha is the only solid real thing, real being. And I say thing not as disrespect to Amida. I don't see Amida as a thing. It's a term. It's like you're looking for a formula in life that's going to work for you. There is no formula as far as I'm concerned. There's only the living, enlightened presence of Amida that transforms life. And the peace that I find in Amida grows stronger and stronger as I practice a life of simple faith in him. The peace and strength I experience in Amida is something that no one can take away from me. I will never lose this faith in Amida, not because I am a great man of faith. There's nothing great about me. I'm a bamboo. I'm a spiritual idiot. And I might as well just admit it. It's not about me. I have entrusted myself completely to Amida. I have wished to be reborn in his pure land, and now I know through the simple faith, without a shadow of a doubt, that I will be reborn in his pure land. It's not about my faith being great. It's about Amida's implanting in me that knowing. Honestly, the faith I feel is not really my faith. It is the faith implanted in me by Amida Buddha. It is that stage of non-retrogression. That is to say, whatever goes on in my life in the here and now, in terms of my rebirth in the pure land of Amitabha Buddha, it's irrelevant. It has nothing to do. Nothing will change my destiny going to the pure land. That will not change. I know this because I know Amida within my limited capacity to know Amida. I am nothing near a bodhisattva. Bodhisattva can't talk. Bodhisattva, much less an enlightened fully enlightened Buddha like Amida. So knowing him isn't even scratching the iceberg. My knowing of him is just the primitive, basic knowing that an idiot like me is capable of having. But it's enough. Living in the saha realm, it's enough. It's more than enough. So regardless of what you're feeling or going through, just talk to him about it. Just go to him. And don't try to make yourself presentable or pure or righteous. I mean, that bullshit doesn't work because it's not necessary with Amida. He wants you as you are. He wants to talk to you. He wants to love you and to let you know that he loves you for who you are, as you are. And I mean, you may be a screw up, an SOB, a total failure in life. You may be racked with depression. You may be bipolar. You may have borderline personality disorder, a drug addiction, an alcoholic. You may jack off every night to porn. It doesn't mean a damn thing to Amida what you are. It's not about you. You, yes, you are the reason Amida came and made his 48 vows. You know, not some great practicing saint of Buddhism. You. He came for people like me, people who are screw-ups, people who don't know how to think, people who don't know how to feel, people who get frustrated because many times their best is not good enough. These people like me are why Amitabha Buddha made his vows, especially the primal vow. Just say my name, entrust to me, and wish to be reborn in my land of ultimate peace and bliss. And you will be reborn in my land of ultimate peace and bliss in your next life. Guaranteed, guys. Stop worrying. You don't need to worry about whether or not Amida finds you worthy. Because it has nothing to do with you being worthy. It has everything to do with the fact he knows you aren't worthy. That's the key to our salvation. It's not about us being righteous. It's that Amida knows we're unrighteous and we need him. And he loves us and he knows this and he accepts us even if we're totally unacceptable, especially to ourselves. I love you. Namo Amida Butsu.